Consider for a moment a podcast where you can not only be entertained, but educated at the same time. A podcast where the host draws out his every breath by giving you his thoughts and opinions on topics that interest him. Then, if you've clicked onto this link, you have entered the ACR podcast for Friday, November 4th, 2016. Welcome, everybody. My name is Andrew Rhodes. I am your host. Welcome. I'm not going to do all the hellos like I did the last time. I swear I might have screwed some of those up. This is a special Friday edition of the podcast because I'm going to be a little busy tomorrow and I may not have a chance to record. So I'm doing it tonight instead. So what's on tap for tonight? Well, we got the stupidest Japanese commercial I have ever seen in my life. The kiss that broke the internet. The Cumberbach bitches can cream their jeans. Toonami's Intruder 3 is coming again. The Cubs finally win the World Series! Took them 108 years, I guess. That's what they were saying. Holy crap! Dragon Ball Evolution, Dragon Ball Super, Light Seekers. The hell is that? And many other things all this week on the absolutely, completely random podcast. So, without any further ado, sit back, relax, click one of the other tabs and go back to doing your Facebook games like Candy Crush or Fruit Ninja or whatever you usually do, and just let my soothing voice echo in the background as I take you on a journey into the deepest regions of the internet. Boy, is this going to be fun. But first, a word from our sponsor, which is still me. It's always me, and I adore that it's me. Hello, everybody. This is Andrew from A-Roads 2012 on eBay. The holidays are almost upon us. In fact, these stores are already putting out holiday merchandise. So what better way to get your shopping done early than to go online? eBay, Amazon, and all those other places always have good deals right before the major holiday rush, and you know that all the sellers are definitely wonderful people. Well, why not swing by my page if you're in the mood for trading cards, DVDs, video games, or oddities, collectibles, and other things? Swing by my eBay page and take care of your holiday shopping before the mad rush. That way you can focus more time on what you're going to be getting Grandpa and not so much what you're getting the neighbor down the street. So don't forget, you can swing by my eBay page. That's lowercase a, RHOADS hyphen 2012 on eBay. You can also follow me at Otaku Roads on Twitter. Alright, so this week's been a lot of fun. I want to give a quick shout out to Ian Ferguson of the CU podcast. This is mostly a get well shout out. Ian has been really under the weather lately. Put a post up on Twitter. He's finally going to have to go to the doctor because he's been having stomach pains. Wasn't feeling well. His cat's been keeping him company. Ian, I'm really hoping that you feel better. I'm really hoping it's nothing serious because I think Pat and the CU podcast would never be the same without you if something major were to happen to you. So, yeah, get well soon. That way you can come back, you can do all your fun things, and we can hear your thoughts and opinions on video games, movies, and many other things. So, yeah, get well soon, Ian. And Pat, keep doing what you're doing. So there is my little shout out. So, yeah, Ian, I hope you get well soon. Hope you feel better. And I really hope it's nothing serious. So, getting into the regular podcast now, I love Japan. I think that's pretty much apparent by now. I pretty much have adored Japanese animation. I love Japanese stuff. I'm a huge fan of Japanese stuff in general, and I'm a huge fan of Japan. They have brought us so much good in the world, from decent electronics to really good toys to very, very, very attractive adult entertainment models. Nonetheless, Japan has had some stuff that even makes me cringe and makes my ass pucker that so to the point where I could cut steel. And that would be the Japanese commercials for some stuff. And this week, I have found what I believe to be the stupidest commercial out of all of them. Now, I'm not trying to be cynical. I mean, there are some good commercials. I can get behind Tommy Lee Jones pitching coffee as an alien. He's been doing that for, 30 years, I think they said? I can get behind that. I can get behind Arnold Schwarzenegger pitching an energy drink, some noodles, and canned coffee. I can get behind that. What I can't get behind is when you have an anime character. And I'm not talking about Goku or somebody here. No. I'm talking about Ryuk from the live-action Death Note movie pitching something called a pen pineapple apple pen. Whatever the holiest of hell that is. The commercial started off, it was basically just Ryuk standing there going, I have a pen, I have an apple, then sticking the pen in the apple, and going, oh, I have an apple pen. And he basically goes, I have a pen, I have a pineapple. And does the same thing, goes, I have a pineapple pen. Apple pen, pineapple pen. Pen, pineapple, apple pen. And he's basically doing this little dance like, yeah, this is the greatest thing I've ever made in the world. This is perfect. Everyone should adore this. What the hell is it? That's what I can't figure out. Is it an apple pen? Is it something that I should be wondering if there's a problem with the people that created this? Is this a cry for help? Is this a we have run out of damn good ideas? What? I mean, what? Seriously? I can't figure it out, but nonetheless, it was one of the weirdest, if not the stupidest commercial I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of commercials. I did not get my fat gut by running around outside and playing with my friends. Mostly because when I was growing up, I didn't really have many friends. But nonetheless, I have seen my fair share of commercials, and that was one of the stupidest I have ever seen in my life. I mean, holy crap. It's just, what is it? It's less than a minute long. I think it was like maybe 30 or 40 seconds. If you get a chance, Google it, check it out. It is one of the weirdest things I have ever seen. I'm hoping I can wash it away out of my mind. I'm hoping my mind will forget it ever existed. And I'm really praying that it just goes away. Seriously, I mean, I want it to go away. It needs to go away. Why won't it just go away? Yeah, but it's weird. That's the best way I can put it. Weird and stupid. And, yeah, that's all I'm going to touch on that one with. So, yeah, it's called Pen Pineapple Apple Pen, or PA, or PPAP. Check it out if you get a chance. I don't know what they're trying to pitch. I don't know what they're trying to sell. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Either way, it's weird, and I'm out on it. That's all I got to say. Alright, so let's moving off of the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Let's go to something that has officially busted the internet in two. And believe it or not, it's a Pokemon topic, no less. Because it's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. The world can officially say in one fell swoop, in one glorious moment, that we were here to witness it. Ash Ketchum has gotten to first base! Supposedly! I mean, good God! He has finally supposedly gotten to first base. After what are we up to now? 13, 15 years? He is finally, he's still 10, finally gotten to first base. With a woman! Well, okay, it's one of his traveling companions, but for the love of God! So let's narrow down which one it is for those of you that haven't figured it out yet. It's a female, so Clement's definitely out. I said woman, so Bonnie's out. So that only leaves Serena. That's right. Ash and Serena apparently kissed. This got broken first, I think it was by Forever World. Check out his channel. They're kind of it. Some of the stuff he talks about is sort of interesting. He does like recap videos. You have to kind of excuse his mannerisms for some of the stuff that he does, but still, it was just hilarious. But the problem is that the clip, and I did finally find, I watched the episode, I shouldn't say found, it was online. I watched the episode, you don't actually see it. So we don't really know whether or not he actually kissed or if she stopped. The whole entire thing is that Serena's going to the Hoenn region to participate in a Pokemon contest so that she can become a better Pokemon performer. Yeah, it's just an excuse to get rid of some of the characters in preparation for the Alola region, where you're going to have Ash's dopey cousin taking over the reins. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's still Ash. That's still Ash. I'm sorry, that's still Ash Ketchum yet. I forgot about that. Pikachu looks cute and adorable. I don't know what they did to Ash. They kind of like, would they feed him the dumb down pill or something? But either way, they're at the airport saying goodbye to Serena. And she's going down the escalator, then she suddenly runs back up the escalator and supposedly kisses Ash. Holy Christ, it finally happened. Dear sweet Arceus! And the internet's blown up about it, going, what? Why? How could Ash Ketchum finally get kissed by her? It should have been Misty. And then others are going, it should have been May. No, it should have been Dawn. What do you mean it should have been Iris? Oh, for the love of Christ. You got the shippings all over the place. I'd almost hate to see what would happen to the internet if Ash Ketchum would actually get sex. If he would actually round home plate. If he would put the Pokey Flute into the backpack. What would happen to the internet? Could you imagine it? I could just see it now. Servers across the internet would go down faster than the DDoS attack because people would be talking about Ash Ketchum got laid. Dear sweet Arceus, he got laid. He's had sex. My God, we've finally done it. We have lived to see this moment. No, all he's done is kissed a woman so far. But I can just imagine the uproar and the amount of people flipping and losing their shit over Ash having sex. Dear God. And if it took him almost 15 some years just to get a kiss from a woman other than his mom, because I remember the one episode his mom did kind of kiss him, or at least did the in Prac 2, I'm going to lick my lip and I'm going to lick my finger and I'm going to wipe the smudge off your cheek or something. If it took like 15 years for that, I'd be a damn old man by the time he rounds home plate. I think my grandkids would be watching that on their Disney TVs by the time he finally rounds home plate. If it takes almost 15 years, 60 years later, we're in season 60 of Pokemon. Dear God, I couldn't even imagine that. Can't go on for another 60 years. Eventually it's going to lose steam. You're going to run out of little creatures to make. But for the love of God, 60 years and Ash finally gets some. Well, there we go, folks. It's finally happened. It took 60 years, but it's finally going to get sex. Holy God. I was talking to my mom about this because she watched Pokemon with me when I was growing up. So she goes, when I said, yeah, Ash finally got kissed, she goes, oh my God, it's finally happened. I'm like, what, he didn't have sex yet? That'll be the day the internet screeches to a halt. Ash Ketchum finally gets laid. I'll make front page in every newspaper across the globe. Ash Ketchum / Satori on the animated series Pokemon finally gets laid in the latest episode. Fans in outrage. Parents are extremely pissed. Nintendo, Game Freak, and the Pokemon Company to be sued. I can just see the headlines now. But no, in all seriousness, he got a kiss from Serena. This basically proves that some of the people that are going with the shippings, they kind of have a good point, and they're kind of right on this one. Even though she's going away, that doesn't technically mean she's out of the picture. Because remember, Misty came back in the Hoenn region episode for a two-parter. May came back for a couple episodes in the Sinnoh region. Dawn came back for a couple episodes in the Unova region. I don't think anybody came back in the Kalos region, but then again, I really couldn't give a rat's ass about the Kalos region. I lost any faith in Pokemon anymore after Unova. When Ash got his ass whooped in the Pokemon League to a person that doesn't even know that you have 6 Pokemon as a full team. How do you not know that? What do you think? 5 Pokemon's the max? What happens if you catch a 6th Pokemon? How come it didn't get transferred back to the professor yet? Oh, maybe it's busted. I'll stick it in my pocket for now. See if I can't catch another one. Maybe that'll fix the glitch. 6 Pokemon is a full team. Oh my god. So yeah, I kind of lost all faith in it after that. I still love Pikachu. He's always going to be my favorite. My all-time favorite. Number 1 in my book. My mom's favorite's Diglett. Mine will always be Pikachu. The cute yellow electric mouse. The mascot of Pokemon. Yep, that is my favorite. And it's mostly because I'm colorblind. And yellow is my favorite color. And Pikachu is just nothing but yellow. And I'm like, nope. No. Pikachu. My favorite Pokemon. But just the fact that Ash got kissed. That is huge. And like I said, Forever World, and I think it's either Forever or Forever World, was the one that broke the news. And he was even geeking out about it. Granted, he was making some stupid jokes about it too, but then again, yeah, you have to because it wasn't subbed or anything, so we had no idea what the hell they were saying. Of course, he didn't have to make it as dirty as he was saying it, but, to each their own. But yeah, Ash got kissed. He's finally gotten past first base, or at least gotten to first base. It took 15 years. That's glacially slow. This must be a slow Cosby. Holy crap. But yep, that's what happened, folks, and it's a miracle that it happened. So I'm happy for it. This basically means that the show can now go in a better direction. Of course, when Sun and Moon anime comes out, that's where it's going to probably kill it because nobody is looking forward to seeing that dopey version of Ash. They want to know what the hell happened with that. For that matter, so do I. I think it's got to be a different animation company because if you notice, they did the same thing after the Unova region into the Kalos region. It was a different art style. It was a little more textured. It was more impressive. And I think now they're going back to a more childlike look, so I guess fans must have complained about it. That's one of the things that annoys me with this, that they listen to the fans, and if half a dozen of the fans go, oh, well, we hate this, then they're going to up and change it, even though 2/3 liked it. That 1/3 that hates it is what upsets them. You can't please everyone, but it's that 1/3 that hated it. That's why they have to change it. And that makes no sense to me. But, yep, so Ash finally got to first base. So stay tuned. In 15 years, Ash will round second base. And in another 15, and in 30 years, he will round third base. And in 45 years, we will be bringing it on home. He'll still be 10. I'll be 73. So 72. I'll be 72. He'll still be 10. And he will be rounding home plate. And I'm going to be going, way to go, boy. And I'll take my last breath at that point because I'll be 72 years old. Probably on oxygen. Watching this with my great-grandchildren. Going, I remember him when he got to first base. Took him 15 years. But we knew it would happen. Grandpa, you're insane. This show's only been on for 5 years. Google it, you little smartasses. But, yep. So, let's move on to another topic. And let's leave the kiss that finally happened in our hearts and our memories. Because God knows we're never going to see that again. Alright. Well, because today is November 4th, that means that something happens today And it's something that will make all the Cumberbatch bitches cream their jeans, because Doctor Strange has come out in theaters. And I personally am not going to see it. Not because I am not a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. I liked him in Sherlock. It's because I am not a fan of Doctor Strange. In terms of Marvel characters that I like, Doctor Strange is not even breaking the top 20. He's in the top 30, but he ain't even in the top 20. I would rather watch Captain America movies over and over and over again, ad infinitum, than watch 1 second of Doctor Strange. He's just not that great of a character to me. He seems like a ripoff of Dr. Fate, who was on the DC version. But then again, all Marvel and DC are ripoffs of each other. Captain America is Marvel's version of Superman. Iron Man is Marvel's version of Batman. I like Marvel better, but there are some characters in Marvel that I can't stand. I mean, Captain America is number 20 on my list. Well, okay, no, he's like 20 or 22. See, he's pretty far down. But I'm just not a big fan of Doctor Strange. And then I have my friend, her and I were talking about why Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is bringing out Ghost Rider, because I was seeing that on Facebook, and she goes, well, they're trying to introduce the magic because they have had no magic in the show. It's all been technology, in preparation for Doctor Strange coming out. And then just like that, I kind of go, wait a minute, what do you call the Asgardians? Last I checked, that sure as hell wasn't tech. That was magic. Whosoever wield this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Okay, so that doesn't mean that I'm going to put my hand on the hammer and all of a sudden it's going to do like a biometric scan and it's going to go, ye be worthy. That's magic. It's not tech. And it's just ironic that I brought that up and she goes, oh yeah, that's true. I'm like, so they had magic on the show already. They just wanted an excuse to bring out Ghost Rider. Which is fine. I like Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was pretty cool. I like Ghost Rider. I'm fine with that. I can get down with that. So, yep, so the Doctor Strange movie's out. Benedict Cumberbatch is playing Doctor Strange himself. Like I said, not looking forward to it. Not planning to go see it. Don't really care. Now, a movie that is coming out on DVD that I do care about, it's coming out on Tuesday, ironically, Sausage Party. So what better way to enjoy yourself here in the U.S.? It's Election Day. What better way after you cast your ballot and figure we're screwed either way, pop in Sausage Party. Because this comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download on Tuesday. And let's a neat little segue into this because I was able to find some clips on YouTube that were put up by the official Sony channel and by some fans. And one of them is the supposed alternate ending. And this alternate ending officially is going to make me cringe every time I go into a supermarket again. Apparently after defeating the bad guy, yeah, there's a spoiler for you if you haven't seen it yet. In all honesty, I could see how a movie ends. I still want to see how it got to that point. So I'll still buy it. I'm planning to. I mean, I've seen the trailer. I've seen clips. I still want to see how it got from point A to point B. Okay, so I see pictures. So I'm seeing parts from in between. I still want to see how it gets from point A to point B. But apparently the alternate ending that had to be cut from theaters was after defeating the bad guy, all the food decides to have a gigantic orgy. Yep, that's right, a food orgy. And it, wait a minute, why is everything shaking all of a sudden? Holy crap, did you say food orgy? A food order? I'll take a hamburger, a ham, turkey, a pizza, another turkey. What are you gonna have? Professor Clump?
Oh, yes. You said food order. I came running as fast as I could. I think I must have barreled out at least 6 cars, but I'm here nonetheless.
I was actually talking about an alternate ending to a movie that's coming out on DVD. It's called Sausage Party. So it was like a food orgy at the end. It's an alternate ending. All the foods having, well, supposedly innuendo sex.
Oh, that's nasty. I gotta sit down for a little bit, though. I got a little winded. I think I kind of just leapt over about 30 feet to get here.
No problem. Take a seat. Nice to have you back, Professor.
Nice to be here. I'm just gonna pant and wheeze over here. I think I'm gonna... If I pass out, you know how to resuscitate me, right?
Yeah. I'll take care of it.
Oh, good.
Alright, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, basically it was a food orgy. And that's all it was. Leading into this. So, nonetheless, it's a movie I'm looking forward to. I'm planning to buy it. That's a given. I wanted to see it in theaters, but certain circumstances beyond my control and certain friends who will remain nameless who didn't want to spend any time with me back then, they know who they are. Basically, I wanted to see it with them. They really didn't have the time. That's fine. My friends have lives of their own. I understand that. But I'm planning to get this. I really want to see this movie. Comes out on Tuesday. And, yeah. That's all there is on that. There's some free publicity for you, Sony. Enjoy it. Alright. So let's move on. The Cubs finally win the World Series. It's a miracle. It's finally happened. As the prophecy foretold. They were just 1 year and 18 days short of making Back to the Future's prediction, though, but... Oh, well. Okay, I think they were saying it was like a year and 18 days or a year and like 10 days or something. Or a year and 12 days. Something along that. But either way, they were a few days off. They won the World Series. First off, they took it into a Game 7. And I hate baseball to begin with. I'm just happy it's done. But they took it into Game 7. They came back, really brought it on. And it was a game. This one was a series to remember. They've even been saying that. It is a series to remember. Because they took it to a Game 7. Usually, this is done like within the first 4 or 5 games. It's done. But for them to actually get a Game 7 this season was amazing nonetheless. So I'm happy for that. I really am. But nonetheless, they were a little shy of making Back to the Future's prediction. But they finally win. They were saying it was about a 108-year drought. Which, first off, it is impressive that they managed to win then even more. And it is really impressive that they're winning with dignity. They're not loading it over the other teams. So that's really cool, really entertaining to understand. And I'm happy for them. Congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. You earned this. That's all I can say. 108 years. You stuck it out. I would have looked at everybody and said, look, we're not even going to try anymore after 48 years. 108 years. Congratulations. Woo, that's huge. That's huge. Alright, well, tomorrow starts daylight savings time. You know what that means? It means you have to fall your clocks back an hour. You're gaining an hour of sleep, which is going to be good for me because they're going to be starting new shifts at work soon. But nonetheless, that means daylight savings time, which means Toonami's gaining an hour. And like I said last week, they're having a special movie, The Children Who Chase the Lost Voices, which seems and sounds really good. The plot looks really good. The animation looks really good on it. But on top of that, The Intruder 3 is beginning tomorrow night as well. It's going to be a 4-week event. Tom gets introduced to the Intruder again. Either that or the Intruder arrives again, or they have a new one to deal with. And they had a new trailer out for it, and Tom has a new gun to use. Which was kind of funny because in the second Intruder, he goes, "Oh, I got a better gun this time." Yeah, your better gun did squat. I mean, come on, let's face it, your better gun did nothing. It tickled the Intruder. That was it. Nothing at all. All it did was tickle the Intruder. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. This is something that's going to be huge. Because it's only been a year since the Intruder 2. And that was a 7-week event. This is only going to be a 4-week one. So that means, is it going to be longer? Is it going to be, a little quicker? I'm hoping it's going to be longer, to be honest. I'm hoping like maybe half an hour each. That would be nice. Half an hour. Maybe 15 minutes. Something like that. I go with the half an hour. But yeah, that would be really cool nonetheless. I'm looking forward to it. I'll get to watch it at some point. Because I know that the nerds out on the internet will not forsake me. Or the rest of us. And we'll be able to watch it nonetheless. So, yep, that starts tomorrow night. Intruder starts at midnight. And the Intruder 3 starts at midnight, and Children Who Chase Lost Voices, I believe they said it was 3 a.m. that's starting. So, yep, look forward to that. And welcome Toonami to an extra hour. So you guys are finally getting some time back. Which is fine, because come April, you'll end up losing an hour again, so. Alright. Now, I know there are a lot of Kickstarters out there. Personally, I never understand how that thing works. But this is one that I was seeing on Facebook. Came up. This one was a Kickstarter for something called Light Seekers. It's a trading card action figure video game. Don't ask me how. It was weird when I saw it. They had an instructional video as to how to play the game. At least the card game of it, which, and I want to say this as nicely as I can, it was a 21-minute video, and it bored me at 3 minutes. I made it through 1/7 of that video, and I was bored out of my mind. So, the entire purpose of this is they want to bring this out to the world. I have to admit this. The action figures seem pretty cool. They want to connect them via Bluetooth, so you won't have to have a Skylander-like portal to play the game on. Which, you figure, yeah, that's going to be the evolution of everything. You're going to have a technology that's going to do that. The card game plays from your tablet. The card game is what put me to sleep. And I'm a person that collects trading cards, and I collect and I sell. And if it puts me to sleep, you can take that to the bank that that's probably not a good game. But they were looking for $200,000 for this. They got their $200,000 and then some. They got 1,635 backers. That together raised a whopping total of $227,660. That is huge. And they had different rewards for each thing. Like if you could only pledge $1, you got something. $5, $10, and it kept going on and on. But what I want to know is who was stupid enough to donate and kick them and back them for 10 G's. I shit you not. There was a category, there was a reward column for $10,000. And you basically got everything that all the other prize tiers give you. Plus, you get to come there and play with their tank. And a few other things. But you have to pay the travel cost. So, it seemed like okay, whoever's backing them for that much, they have money to burn. Me, I would have gave $1, except for the fact that, like I said, their instructional video put me to sleep. And I wasn't tired or anything. It just zonked me out, and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm bored out of my mind. End this nightmare now. And I just paused. I stopped. I paused it, and I'm like, 3 minutes even. My God, I made it through 1/7 of this, and I'm bored. But yeah, so $227,660 was raised for this. So you know that that's going to be coming out. Is it going to be something that's going to compete with like Yu-Gi-Oh or Skylanders? I can see it competing with Skylanders because Skylanders just came out with this new Swap Force thing, which we got some of that in at work. Five Below this morning, we got some of that in. Yeah, so there's a lot. At least according to the boxes, that's what it is. I don't know if it was actually in it or not. But yeah. So there's like a lot of that. So is it something that can, like I said, that could compete with Skylanders? I don't know. I think that's what their game plan is. But you have to remember, Skylanders came out with this technology before anybody else did. They've all been copying them. Disney Infinity copied them. I know the Marvel games have been copying them. So needless to say, they have been copied relentlessly with this. So it's just a process that, they're going to get copied themselves eventually. Because how the whole system works is something called a Fusion Core, which has like 16 megabytes of memory on it. Bluetooth capability, can be recharged, blah, 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 blah. The only thing I'm afraid of is like with every Kickstarter, that they put themselves on a high pedestal and they're not going to be able to deliver what they're promising. Because a majority of the time, you have really high hopes on Kickstarters. I mean, look at Mike Kennedy and his precious Coleco Chameleon. That thing was a train wreck upon the starting of that Kickstarter. And it's like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. You'll be able to do this, and this. But unless you have a way to back up what you're saying, you're screwed. I mean, yeah, we can do virtual reality with Yu-Gi-Oh cards utilizing a tablet. That's not a problem. Hook up a couple of big-ass screens and big-ass monitors in a stadium. We can actually start having some Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. Real life, have the monsters come off the card. That's the point we're getting to here with this virtual reality stuff. But the only thing I'm afraid of with the Light Seekers is that they officially put themselves on too high of a pedestal, and these 1,635 backers basically just piss their money right down the tubes. And that's really is the only thing I'm afraid of, that they're basically going to lose all that money. And it just bothers me in a way that a lot of these people that back Kickstarter stuff, it's a double-edged sword. Because you're either basically kissing your money goodbye, or you're holding your money there hoping that what you backed is going to become what it says. And from reading the description of it, I think it's basically asking too much. They want the figures to be compatible with the game, which is compatible with the card game, which is in itself the only thing you need to play with the game itself. And the whole thing, like I said, it just seems like a gigantic overstretch of what they're hoping to accomplish, but I'm kind of hoping at the same time that they get it. So, I don't know. I know Pat and Ian are probably going to see this because I tweeted this to them. I can't wait to hear their take on this. A new CU podcast should be coming out soon. Hopefully Ian will be there. If not, it'll be a solo Pat one. I don't mind that. I like hearing Ian's point of views on stuff. He's kind of like the other side of the spectrum. So, yeah, hopefully maybe they'll help me understand this by putting it out there, and I'll be able to understand what exactly they're talking about. But, yeah, $227,000, though, over that's not bad. I don't even know how many days the thing was live, so that's pretty damn good. All right. Team 4-Star. Their gaming channel has been doing a few Let's Plays this week. Besides taking on the adventures of Puddin' and I'm going to do exactly how they do it to give them some homage there on that. For Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, they've also been doing a Let's Play of Dragon Ball Evolution. Ugh. Sorry, every time I think about that movie, my ass clenches. For those of you unfamiliar with it, first off, congratulations. You've officially escaped the dark clutches of hell. And I'm about to drag you down into it. Dragon Ball Evolution was a live-action anime. It was a live-action adaptation of the Dragon Ball anime series. That had nothing to do with the Dragon Ball anime series. I know CinemaSins did. It was one of the heaviest requested videos for them to do, and they did it. And they actually had to do research on the source material, and they added that as the bonus because this thing was asked for so much by the fans. They wanted to know this. The story follows Goku. And Goku's a teenager in high school. Chi-Chi is also a teenager in high school. Bulma is a teenager. Master Roshi ain't some old pervert who's balding, living in a island in the middle of nowhere, and doesn't have a turtle as a best friend. And oh yeah, Piccolo's already been freed. This movie scrapes the boundaries of crap. It scrapes the boundaries of crap while trying to claw its way into the boundary of crap. This thing is so far beyond crap, it's not even funny. It sucks. I did not see this in theaters happily. I did not waste my money to go see this in theaters. I really want to stress that. I happily only saw it on TV, and I remember that day because my mom, I was watching TV, and she came in, she goes, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I think it's some martial arts movie." And then all of a sudden I hear the one character go, "Goku," and I'm like, "I think this is Dragon Ball Evolution." And she goes, "Wow, this really sucks." I'm like, "Yeah. I wonder what else is on." And I shared that story on the second episode of the Let's Play, and the one person replies back with, "That was a boring story." Well, yeah, my reply back to that was, "Well, yeah, it was a boring movie." But then there were a bunch of people that were getting upset because, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the person that made this comment popular ends up making it so that they stop playing this wonderful game. I think to myself, wonderful game? You're joking. 90% of the time, you are basically reading 90% of the time. You are stuck in an endless loop of, oh, here's text on the screen, here's two crappy photoshopped images of our characters talking, that's it. The main focus of this is fighting, and oh yeah, you have a fighting game that has the word story in the middle on the bottom. It tells you what mode you're in. The attacks suck. Goku has no beam attacks. Come on! This is basically a live-action Street Fighter game. I mean, if they wanted to come out with this, why did they just come out with a live-action Street Fighter game? But I'm not even scratching the surface of this yet. You have the fact that it never followed anything in the series because when Piccolo was around, Krillin was killed. But they're basically having it so that Goku met Master Roshi, played by, I think it was Chow Yun-Fat or something. I pity him. He has to have his name associated with this movie. Then again, I pity every single one of those actors and actresses in this movie that you have to be associated with this piece of crap. That this will forever be a stain on an otherwise spotless career that I was in Dragon Ball Evolution. That is not a high point to preach and brag about, kid. That is the lowest point of your life. But it basically just made me wonder, was it a horde movie, or was it just a horde movie, or was it a glimpse of what was to come from live action adaptations? Because let's not forget, you had live action adaptations for a lot of other series. There was a G Savior movie that was basically a live action adaptation of Gundam, I don't even know where to begin with how bad that was. You had Attack on Titan, which you had the subtitles getting stuck halfway through the movie. There's so many of them. It's not even funny. Then you have fans bitching about the Ghost in the Shell live action because Scarlett Johansson is basically white. They're accusing Hollywood of whitewash because they put her in the role of Major Katsuragi because she's not Asian. I was soon ready, since then, now finally the people have backed the hell down on this. I was soon ready to take a picture of a screenshot from the trailer, have a box of Kleenex right next to it, and I was thinking about maybe a thing of lotion, going, interpret this as you will. I thought, well, I'll just get rid of the lotion, just keep the tissues, and go, interpret this as you will. Either cry over it or jerk off to it. Because you're going to have the fans that are defending her going, well, she's going to be a wonderful addition to this. Oh, it's going to be a wonderful point in the movie for her to play this. And they're basically jerking it off. And then you have some that are bitching and crying because she's in the movie. So yeah, there's the tissues. Either spank it or cry. I don't give a shit which. And that's what I was ready to do. And then they finally backed off. So I'm happy for that. Above all else. I am extremely happy for that. But the fact alone that the adaptations, the live action ones seem to suck, just goes to show you that no matter what we want, the live action version's gonna kind of blow because they're not gonna follow the script anywhere near the real thing. And then there are people going, well, you know that if it wasn't for this movie, Akira Toriyama would have never made Battle of the Gods. Now, I kind of think he would have made it at some point, but yeah, this kind of helped. I mean, this pretty much gave the incentive, okay, I need to make this up to the fans, because they were sending him threatening letters, they were telling his old ass off. And it's like, yeah, I got to make this up to the fans. They are extremely pissed. I don't blame them. I was pissed when I saw it. Because they were preaching this to be a live-action DBZ movie. Well, yeah, they got the DB part right. Z, not so much. But, yeah, nonetheless, confusing as all hell. And they're still doing the walkthrough, by the way, so you can probably watch that. Well, they had the newest part up today. I'm not watching it anymore. It hurts my mind too much, because then it makes me think about that movie. And I sat through it once. I'm never sitting through it again. I'd love to personally start a petition on change.org to have every single copy of that movie brought into one giant circle, light them all on fire, and watch it burn in effigy. And we all just gather around, hold hands, and dance back and forth going, ha-boo, da-boo, like they did in Robot Chicken. That's what I'd like to do. That's what I'd like to do with that. But it'll never happen. Those change.org petitions never do anything. They're a waste of time and effort. But yep. So Dragon Ball Evolution, I avoid that like the plague. Seriously, avoid it like the plague. Alright, so today, Funimation announced that oh my god, finally, they have the rights to Dragon Ball Super! Cue the music! No, wait! Don't cue the music! We're on YouTube, I don't want to get copyright slammed! Never mind, don't cue the music! Kill the music! Kill any chance of the music! Let's just party it down another way! But yeah, they finally have the rights to Dragon Ball Super. They said that an English dub is on their way. Yeah, they've been promising this now for how many years, or for at least for how many months now they've been promising this. I'm not holding my breath, but yeah, it's going to happen eventually. I think they want to get at least a few arcs in, and by a few arcs, I mean a few major arcs in, before they finally get down to the nitty-gritty. Because let's not forget, this week we saw Black and Zamasu fuse, and this coming week, all hell's going to break loose. So, yeah. But on top of that, Funimation also announced that Dragon Ball Super is now on Funimation now, and they have episode, I think it's like 1 to 11, or 1 to 10, and 43, I think it's like the 46, or 43 to 64, I think. I'm not sure. I know they have some of the newer ones up, and they are promising 10 episodes a week until they catch up to the current arc. So, in other words, they're going to pop out 10 episodes a week until they catch up to whatever episode they're up to. So once they get to the newest episode, then it'll probably be once a week. So that's actually pretty good if you want to catch up with this. And it's going to be subbed. So it's like if you want to catch up to this, now you have a lot more options to watch it. So you can catch up to it, you can watch it online, and then you can be prepared for when the English adaptation comes, because you'll know what's going to happen, and then you can basically put the English voices in there. So yeah, let me just run down through the arcs real quick. The first arc was basically a redo of Battle of Gods. The second one was a redo of Resurrection of F. The third arc, we finally got into the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, which is one of the best. Then you had the filler arc with the Water of Life. And you also had, then we're into the Future Trunks arc. So that's where we're at now. And my one friend just finally started watching this, and she goes, I'm only on episode 6. And I'm like, okay, well, I said, wait till you get to the Universe 6 and 7 tournament. It's one of the best arcs. And all of a sudden she goes, don't ruin anything. Don't tell me anything about it. Don't spoil this for me. Don't give anything away. And I'm like, I didn't really give anything away, because she was saying about how what she's on now is pretty much a redo of Battle of Gods. I'm like, yeah, that's what the first arc was. I wasn't about to tell her that, yeah, they also have basically a redo of Resurrection of F. But then after that, when you get into the good stuff. So you just got to wade through the 2 piles of bullshit that you've already seen, and then you get into the good stuff. And yeah, it's going to take time, but yeah, it's worth it in the end. I mean, I, for one, am kind of going to be interested to see if they're going to have, like, a Frieza-type voice for Frost. That'd be pretty interesting. Who they're going to have to play Kaba, the Super Saiyan of... Or I should say the Saiyan, then Super Saiyan of Universe 6. And so on and so forth down the road. I'm kind of looking forward to this. It keeps coming out more and more. Professor Clump, you've watched some anime with me. What do you think of Dragon Ball Super?
I'm a little better now, Andrew. Thank you for asking.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problem. I think Dragon Ball Super is pretty good. Definitely is a step up in the right direction. The first newest thing from Akira Toriyama in how many years? What was it, 18 years? Definitely entertaining. Something that we definitely needed, and, well, like you keep saying, it's way better than GT.
Loads better than GT. Loads better than GT. So yeah, so Dragon Ball Super is still roaring on. I'm looking forward to it. Supposedly Vegeto's coming back, and that's the part that I can't wait to see, baby. So yep, so you can check it out now on Funimation now. You can also watch it on Crunchyroll. Just please try to avoid the illegal sites, because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing those all over Facebook and Twitter. Please stop watching anime on these sites. All that's doing is drawing people to those sites by telling them to stay away. People do the opposite thing of what you say. All right. Well, get ready to hear more Doze and Why You Little for the next 2 years, because The Simpsons have been renewed up to season 30. That means that they're getting 30 years total. Holy crap, that's impressive. They're already one of the longest running animated series on television, and they just keep going. They never really seem to run out of steam, and I think the day that they do is when we, the fans, will give up. FXX is planning another All Simpsons marathon, all 600 episodes. That is something that I can't wait to see. Horror stories that people are going, I'm seeing yellow people. I had that after the first one. Very first episode, I was curious what that was. And I'm like, okay, because I remember that they were on the Tracy Owens show. And I'm like, I wonder what the first episode of the series was. And lo and behold, it's when they get Santa's little helper. Cool. And it just got better and better down the road from there. One of my favorite characters in there is Marge. I always kind of had a little secret crush on her. Yeah, it's out in the open. So the one episode, any like Marge-centric episodes I was kind of a big fan of. Yeah, I had a crush on her. I usually did. I mean, she was kind of the weird one of the family. As you have Bart that would always go out and do his own thing. Lisa, who's always trying to be the, I'm going to be the voice of reason for the town. Homer doing all of his crazy stuff. And she had to keep everything together. And I always just kind of looked at that like, she's really, I can really get behind that. I kind of think she's nice. I mean, okay, yeah, she had a lot of exciting adventures herself. You can look them up. But yeah, nonetheless, Marge was a pretty cool character. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, they get 30 years now. That's going to be impressive. I don't think they could do any more than that. I mean, we've already lost Edna Krabappel. They wrote off Ned Flanders' wife. Flanders keeps getting screwed in this show. I'm almost afraid to think third time's going to be the charm, but I'm almost afraid to even hook him up with anybody else anymore because it seems to be the Flanders Curse. Everyone that's married to Ned Flanders dies. Maud Flanders has 2 kids, dies. Edna Krabappel marries Ned Flanders, then she dies. Ironically, the voice actress died, and may she rest in peace. But still, it's just sad that every time they seem to want to give Ned happiness, we have to take it away. And I know he's one of those God-fearing people, and I know there's one passage that I've been constantly reminded of over and over and over again, thanks to television and everything else, that, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Yeah, well, as far as Ned's concerned, he could just say the same thing. He was married to Maud for how many years? And he was with Edna for, a few months to, maybe a year? So, yeah. His life just sucks. And then he also had that stripper from Vegas. Yeah, that didn't work out when Rod and Todd flushed all her sin sticks down the toilet. Yep, that was the end of that. They got the hell out of Dodge on that one. So, nonetheless, I gotta stop saying that. I've used that word too much. But, yeah, I'm excited that The Simpsons got renewed for another 2 seasons. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. They might hit 40 seasons. That would be pretty impressive as far as I'm concerned. That'd be really cool to see. All right. Believe it or not, it's Q&A time on the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. And nobody actually asked any flat-out questions individually, but these are general questions that I got over the last couple weeks. And I figured I would finally get around to answering them. Now, they weren't left by any one person. They were left by multiple people, so I can't really say the names because they're multiple people. And they were left on my old SoundCloud account, which is still active. I keep forgetting to get rid of that. I guess 1 or 2 of them might have found it, then decided to ask the question there or send me an email and ask. So, like I said, it's been asked by multiple people as either comments or that, so I can't really say one person or another. But here we go. Question number 1. Why is it your video does not have anything other than your logo? I can actually answer that. It's called YouTube copyrights. You may have noticed this. A lot of videos that have clips or images of other stuff get yanked down pretty damn fast. If I were to do that, if I were to put pictures in of what I'm talking about or images or video of what I'm talking about, then my videos run the risk of being yanked down themselves. Since I don't really want to get into arguments with people over who has the rights of what and why I'm borrowing their stuff or why I'm showing their stuff, I just decide to take the middle ground and just not put their stuff on. I'll talk about it, and you, the viewers, can Google it if you want. Why should I show you what I'm talking about when you can just easily Google search it? If you're already listening to me, you have access to the internet as it is. You can easily Google search it. And, yeah, that's all there basically is. I do that to avoid the copyright infringement. I do that to protect myself and you, the viewers, from having to not have a video up. And so that you can continue to have so much joy and love from me. So, yeah, there's that. Another question that I was asked. Why do I not have a co-host? Well, that's simple, really. I do this solo. What I basically do is this alone. Occasionally, I'll do an impersonation like Professor Clump, who's here wheezing over in the corner. And I'll have that person come on as an impersonation by that I've done myself. So no, Eddie Murphy is not actually here. I'm just impersonating Professor Clump in my own way. And I think that's kind of nice. I mean, impersonation is the first form of flattery. So, yeah, there's that. And the third and final question that was asked repeatedly, what exactly do I do to prepare for the podcast each week? This one is actually really interesting. What I do each week is, usually I record this on a Saturday, and it's uploaded to YouTube on a Sunday, like early in the morning. So what I do is simple. I basically spend Monday to Saturday, so basically from Monday, even sometimes Sunday afternoon to Saturday afternoon, finding topics, stuff that entertains me, stuff I find interesting, and I basically jot down the information. I'll copy and paste the article, and then I'll talk about that on the podcast. So I'm pretty much spending most of the week looking for topics. Now that I have a part-time job, I'm also working, so I can still look for the articles and stuff, but it just limits the amount of time that I have to do it. So instead of having a full Sunday afternoon to Saturday afternoon, I basically have Sunday afternoon, then I got Monday, occasionally I'll have a Tuesday, then I only have like Wednesday afternoon, I'll have like Thursday, then I'll have like a Friday afternoon, or, and then like a Saturday afternoon if I have to work Saturdays, or, what have you whenever I have to work to find the articles. I still find them in time. Sometimes, though, stuff's not really that entertaining during the week, and I kind of find a lull. Like when I talked about the Power Rangers trailer, that dropped into my lap that Saturday, and I was so glad it did, because I was short at least one good topic to talk about, and it fell right into my lap because it was released, and I'm like, thank you. It just fell right into my lap. Like I was supposed to see this today. But other times and otherwise, I'll pretty much have this stuff already figured out by Friday afternoon as to what I'm doing. Now, occasionally I'll have to spend like a Saturday searching for stuff because I might be like one or two topics short. But this week, I kind of had everything already figured out by like Wednesday afternoon, Thursday at the latest. So it was pretty much already figured out and done. And I usually jot down the topics either in a notepad. Sorry about that. Either in a notepad document or on a piece of paper, and then I usually have that with me, and then that's what I use to reference the stuff. Then I just go through the articles, and I read the stuff on the articles, or I remember a good chunk of it and just give you the cliff notes of it. And then I give you my opinion on it. So that's pretty much how that works. So there you go. Those were 3 frequently asked questions by multiple people. Ironically, never as comments on my YouTube videos. Go figure on that one. Alright, well, this has been a fun Friday edition of the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. I am getting tired. I have very little Dr. Pepper left. Oh, no. I actually have 44 ounces. Really gets you a lot. I have about 3/4 to go yet. Damn, I only have it down now to just above the 44-ounce mark, the 44-ounce logo. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't think I was doing that good. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap this podcast up. Slap a bow on it. Call this baby done. Professor, you have any comments, or are you done wheezing over there in the corner?
I'm good, Andrew. I'm good. Ugh. Seriously though, next time you say something about food, make sure there's actually gonna be food here. But yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna roll myself out the door, and if you hear any car alarms or any loud farts, it's me.
Right, I'll keep that in mind. Alright, so for the absolutely completely random podcast, I'm Andrew Rhodes. And don't forget, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, I don't get many views on YouTube, but you never know. Sometimes a small gamble pays off. Probably not though in this case. I get like maybe 10 views if I'm lucky, 5 in general if I'm really lucky. But you can send any ideas, or if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can send an email to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. Use sponsor in the subject line. If you have a topic for the ACR podcast, for future podcasts, I should say, you can send those to acrpodcast@gmail.com. Just use subject line. Just put topic in the subject line. And if you have any ideas on ways I can improve the ACR podcast, besides asking me to put video in, I already explained why. You can send those as well to acrpodcast@gmail.com. Just use ideas for podcasts in the subject line. So, for the absolutely, completely random podcast, my name is Andrew Rhodes, reminding you that it's going to be daylight savings time when you're listening to this. It'll be Saturday because I'm going to upload it Saturday. So it'll be daylight savings time. Be prepared to set your clocks back an hour. And I'm going to quote one of my all-time favorite radio DJs from the old one, may he rest in peace, Casey Kasem. And his famous line he always said at the end of every week of American Top 40, and I do mean this, I always listen down on Sunday night: keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. And until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes. Have a lovely week, and I will see you next time.